What's good, y'all? Welcome to Zenkai Station, the greatest podcast in Sector Vibe, bringing you good times and dopeness personified. I am your host, Isaiah, aka Senpai Savage, and today we got a special guest. She is a pro wrestler and lifetime Dragon Ball Z fan. She is the CWE champion and the CPW Hellraiser. I give you Kiara.
Hello, ladies and
Kiara, how are
gentlemen.
you?
It is fantastic to be here. Fantastic to be talking about not only WWE wrestling, but also my favorite passion in life, Dragon Ball Z and anime.
Hell yeah. So good to have you.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, yo, for real, I'm very thankful because like we just connected off on Twitter one time talking about Dragon Ball Z, and here we are. Yeah.
It's so good. And there's so many similar types of storytelling in both. And a lot of people say wrestling is fake. Well, Star Wars is fake. I mean, you could say that about any form of fiction. It's not about that. It's more about good guys versus bad guys.
Yeah, and how the story unfolds, how you tell and bring it to life, right? How it resonates with people, I think, more than anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, as I like to do with every episode, I like to do this thing called a vibe check. And after the vibe check, we're going to have the people, you're going to introduce yourself to the people. People are going to get to know you, and then we'll get into more conversation. So, starting off with a vibe check. How are you doing today? How's the week been?
Honestly, it's been a crazy week. I've had 2 Thai massages because my neck, I give myself whiplash a lot in wrestling. And tomorrow, I have a ladder match tomorrow with kendo sticks. So it is pretty much full on. Yeah, I know. So a lot of anticipation and also a lot of emotions because I just watched Federer's last ever tennis match. And I won't say I'm the biggest tennis fan, but again, you can see the emotion in it. You can see everything bubbling to the surface, all his teammates supporting him, and it's the drama. I'm a big fan of drama.
Well, I mean, you are a wrestler.
Exactly.
So it bleeds through. Oh, man. Well, I guess that even brings up an actual good question. In your own personal history, outside of the wrestling that you do, have you ever done like individual or team sports? And do you remember your last day of like a sport you loved?
Yeah, so growing up, my dad was actually a very good javelin thrower in track and field. He threw internationally. This was like a very cool time to be throwing I think what was it, like the 70s or 80s. So they'd get chartered flights to like Finland. They love javelin in Finland. I don't know why. They just love it. Not discus, but javelin. And he would tell me stories growing up, how he got all the smoked salmon and the champagne he wanted on the plane, and like he was not rich growing up, so like that was a big deal for him.
It was beautiful,
so,
yeah.
And I think obviously being naturally a nerdy person, if it wasn't for my dad and my sister, I don't think I would have had that influence from sport. I think I would have been more introverted. So I definitely credit them to making me interested in sports. So with javelin, I threw on the varsity team at the University of Cambridge.
Let's go. Okay.
I beat Oxford in my very first varsity match. I was the winner. So for the ladies, which was super fun. And also not to diss on shot put, but the thing with shot put, it kind of just goes right. A javelin, when you hit the javelin right, it soars through the air. It's very satisfying. And I would say the emotions are slightly different in that it's an individual sport. You know, you're not feeling like you got other people, but because it was an individual sport for the university, there was a little bit more pressure because you're like repping. There's all, if it was just my favorite memory from that. My favorite memory from that. You guys probably have seen those like open top red double-decker buses in London, right? So every year we'd go to Oxford, they would come to Cambridge back and forth. So it was the year we went to Oxford. We beat Oxford and we hired the whole teams on this double-decker bus, going around Oxford like cheering, like, yeah, like
just rubbing it in, salt and moon.
One of the best memories for sure.
Damn, that is what's up, man. Shoot, for me, I've been a big sports guy like all my life. I played football for a couple years, stopped in high school, and basketball before that. and a little bit of baseball before that. And then now I do Muay Thai kickboxing predominantly.
Oh,
Every once in a while, very little bit of jujitsu and very
nice.
little bit of wrestling. So mixing in some MMA. But I remember football, particularly. My like last official game might have been actually yeah, my last official game might have been in my freshman year of high school because by sophomore year, I was still on the team, was gonna play. I ended up getting severely injured.
Oh,
Um, wasn't and severely injured, not in a broken bones or torn ACL, MCL, thing like that. I had organ failure, so
oh
I was fighting for
shit.
my life. Sort
Oh
of
my
had the
God.
word done here.
It's like sepsis or
Um,
something. Like what? Does something go
so
unchecked?
no, what ended up happening was severe dehydration. So when
Oh,
that happens, your
whoa.
body goes into a state called rhabdo, and let me tell you, rhabdomyolysis sucks. Um, and it's not a pretty thing. But let's just say me and Gravity, we became very close. I was just not able to have any real control over my body anymore.
Whoa.
I was out for a couple months. Had to, really learn how to strengthen myself to walk again because I was that what's the term, atrophied. I was that
Yeah,
atrophied.
yeah.
So
And when
getting
you're
back to
lying in
that.
bed all
Yep,
day and it's really
with
like
dialysis and all that
you did
stuff.
dialysis, shit.
Yeah, so that's just me, like, breezing over it. It's honestly a arduous, long story. Let's just say if you watch Naruto and you know Rock Lee, me and him were on the same wavelength because when he was hurt, I was hurt, and that's just been my boy ever since.
I feel like
But
Rock Lee gets more appreciation now, but I remember when I was watching the original, not the Shippuden, and I was like,
yeah,
this guy and his dad are just like, I love the
and his
attitude.
dad, my guy. So the funny thing about that is my guy's not even his dad, but like that's his dad, like for real. Like my guy might as well just be his father. Um, yeah, I loved Rock Lee. You know what? Ever since he dropped the weights, like when you see Rock Lee drop those weights, if you're not with him, you're never gonna be with him, and that's okay. Well, he dropped those weights over. I was like, that's the homie. He's a genius of hard work, and I live by that ever since.
Hmm.
Um,
And
but
people like sometimes make fun of it, like, oh, why does an anime character like inspire? But like for real, especially when you're at a younger age, like for
mhm,
me,
of
it was
course,
Gohan.
yeah,
Gohan. I mean, he's back on the
okay,
spotlight now with the
back in
whole
beast mode, in
beast
full beast
mode.
mode, yeah.
But no, for real, and also the fact like, and it might be more so for guys, but you see,
Okay.
more so for guys growing up, you're not allowed to show your emotions. That's something that I guess a privilege I had. Girls are allowed to show their emotions a bit more freely. But what
Mhm.
Gohan and other characters did was make having emotions cool and badass and
Yeah.
like kicking butt. And
No,
yeah.
no, that's very fair. Like he still exemplified rage, but he still like showed a deeper sense of emotions. Giving the era he came out in. Whereas like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, everyone, and like they used rage as their motivator to get stronger.
Hmm.
And yes, there were times where they showed other emotions, but like it never was their superpower. Whereas I think a lot of other as my partner would call them emo or soft boys. She would call them soft boys, but like in a proper way, because like
Emo
it's like
phase. I had an
yeah,
emo
like the
phase.
emo phase, they're soft
That's
boys, but
good
like
times.
they're the ones you root for because they have
Hmm.
emotional
Hmm.
depth. So it's like
Exactly.
it's not that their empathy is a weakness; they use that actually as a strength. And like they made like Tandro for existence for instance in Demon Slayer,
Hmm.
when he's about to kill someone or killing someone, he definitely starts to understand why they were in the position they were, but still he has a job to do, and because
Hmm.
they were wreaking havoc. So it's like it brings you into that empathetic sphere. It's like, oh,
And I noticed that
damn.
watching the Federer match with
Hmm.
the four goats of tennis,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it wasn't just him that was crying to his retirement. Like they were all, and it was like they've done this super awesome achievement, but it's also okay to show emotion. So
Hmm.
I think it's progress.
Yeah, no doubt. Shoot, what was my original? Oh, right, football.
Oh yeah.
No, it's all good. Anyway, let's just say when I was officially done from football, it was like
Hmm.
a sad moment for me. Especially after the whole injury thing. It definitely felt like I was never going to be able to play again. I had actually an opportunity to play again in college, but I actually declined it. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. What am I gonna do? What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna do martial arts. So instead of just tackles and being a hitter and lining on blocks and stuff. Now I sometimes take punches and kicks to the dome piece and or body, legs, or wherever. Except now I'm getting a little bit better where I don't take as many, so that's cool.
You said Muay Thai. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Muay Thai kickboxing.
Okay. So
Hmm.
is that more like? Would you say it's more like Taekwondo or karate? Is it more like throws? Is it more like
I got you.
manipulation, grappling?
So, in my opinion, right? Again, that's why I say, in my opinion, I think Muay Thai kickboxing is probably the most all-encompassing martial arts, with the exception of one. And I say that, well, I shouldn't say martial art, striking style. I'll say that striking style, except for left way. So, the difference between Muay Thai and left way is Muay Thai and Muay Boran originated in Thailand, where left
Hmm.
way was from the Burmese people. The main difference, or main differences, I should say, is in the sport today. Muay Thai has always and will forever be the art of 8 limbs, because you use your 2 fists, you have your 2 feet and your shins, you have your knees, and you have your elbows. So you have 8 limbs at your arsenal, at your
Okay.
disposal at
Okay.
all times. Where left way is the art of 9. You use your head. So
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
allowed
So
to
it's
headbutt.
nice.
Yes, yeah.
Nice.
So you're allowed to use headbutts. And the main difference in the sports today is that, well, because of being able to use your head, Muay Thai has more like traditional kickboxing kind of regular boxing rules. You get standing 8 counts, things like that. But with left way, the only way to win is knocking your opponent out. That's it.
Really? Like knock them out. Knock them
You
out.
have to completely knock
Oh,
them out, and your
dang.
opponent has an opportunity to get revived. And what that means is, so after you knock them out the first time, um, their entire corner has about 5 minutes to get them back on their feet, get them well enough to fight
Wow.
again. And if they are able to go, they continue to fight. If you knock them out again, same thing happens. It has to be a complete stoppage. So that's the crazy thing about left way. It is effective. I got to give it that. But if you don't want to use headbutts and just save that as like a last resort option, which is not wrong, Muay Thai, because Muay Thai, you have all those limbs that you can strike with, but it also incorporates a grappling aspect of clinching.
Hmm.
And it's not, it's clinching because you have a lot of, I would say, like Greco-Roman sort of aspects, with over underhooks, over overhooks, learning how to really manipulate your opponent within the upper half of their person. So pretty much a lot of grappling that way, but also you get introduced into sweeps. So you redirect their upper half one way, redirect the lower half another. They're on the
Hmm.
ground.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
advantageous position always. Also within clinch, learning how to throw knees, elbows, even uppercuts, and some proper punches. Even though a lot of people say never throw punches in clinch, hey, that's totally fine. But I think an uppercut is probably the only punch you should probably throw in a clinch. Otherwise, elbows and knees only. That's really it. Um, but so you
Yeah. I
have a
found
lot of
like doing
facets. Sorry.
yeah, and doing hand mudo and just dabbling. I wouldn't say I got,
Mhm.
but like just feeling that adrenaline of like, oh my god, when you're actually facing someone.
When you're sparring, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it really kind of changed because there was an overlap when I was doing pro wrestling and this. I was like,
Mhm.
right, I need to approach this a lot differently. And when you
Yeah,
win in something like Hamuda, you're like freaking pumped. Like you
yeah.
are so pumped, and like getting that level of intensity and transferring it to the pro wrestling and knowing, especially like with hip toss, arm drag, head
Mhm.
drag. It's kind of like doing that, but just a little bit nicer, so it's cushier for the
Okay.
opponent.
Yeah.
But the most interesting thing, if you're on with someone new who doesn't know what they're doing, who maybe won't remember everything that
Mhm.
you plan, the easiest thing is to start doing throws like a hip toss or an arm drag, because they have to go with it, especially if you're kind of sticking your ass into it and they have to
Yeah.
go, you're
Yep.
pulling them over. So you do it in a way that obviously doesn't hurt them or injure them, and you help cushion them, but it means you have to plan way less, and you can just take control and just help them through it. And they're like, okay, I guess I'm on the floor now.
Exactly. It's a actually, yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that, just like with the blending of styles and influences. So you were saying Hamudo, if I'm saying that
Yeah,
right. So
Hanmudo.
I have no idea what that is, but can you explain that to me and the
It's like a
audience?
little bit. It's got lots of wrist locks. It's got again some strikes. It's kind of a mix. It's a mix of lots of different things. I only really got to yellow belt because at the time I was in Norwich training with the Knight family. This was just after I finished university, so there was lots of things going on, but it was enough to get that cardio right. You'll do like the how many minute rounds, and it is like, and that and boxing cardio is on another level of cardio, because you're just constantly moving. You're constantly.
A lot of people think they're big and bad in like a local gym, and then you go into like a martial arts or boxing gym, and you find out, whoo, you're not that big or that bad, bro. Like, it's way different.
Yeah, and it's like, I know I didn't have enough time to perfect, or like I can only really pursue one, like pro wrestling, but I wanted to try like a little bit of boxing, taste of different things. So I'm like, right, I can kind of get this mindset now, and yeah, that very intense.
Well, I highly recommend Muay Thai. Trust.
Yeah,
I think you'll
I
get
can't.
a
Yeah,
lot
you're
out of
selling
it.
it to me. You're selling it to me, especially with the. I love doing headbutts in
Oh, that would be
one
left
with.
way.
Yeah, left way. You're right.
So if you
9
wanna
limbs
do
versus the 8.
versus 8.
Yeah,
So if
8
you wanna
limbs,
do
9
left
limbs.
way, do left way. That's fine. But I would highly recommend Muay Thai as well. So it'll be a eye opener, so to speak. Sure as hell was for me, because I'm like, I got some boxing experience, I got some taekwondo experience. How bad can this? I'm dead. I'm dying.
Yeah.
God, my first day ever at a Muay Thai gym. It was apparently shin conditioning day, and we were just tapping shin to shin, just shin to shin. I'm like, ooh,
I'm
man,
cringing.
pros do this for real. Okay, I have baby shin, so all the nerves are fresh. I'm just trying to beat them dead, so I don't feel anything anymore.
Numb them down. You see Ronda Rousey, she just got a medicine ball bashing her stomach over and over, just deadening that intense.
It's like, I feel nothing in the core. It's fine. I eat those body shots. But so I think that's a cool ass intro. But let's have the people get to know you a little bit better, right? So I have a couple, little questions. Let's see where this goes. First and foremost, do you know what D&D is?
Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, cool. So then you'll know this question. I just have to ask. Some people don't play D&D.
I've done a couple campaigns, not been a dungeon master, but yeah.
Okay, well, me too. So then, what's your alignment?
I think it's chaos. I think I was chaotic good.
You're a chaotic
and I was a cleric, I think. Yeah.
But what would you be, Kiara? Like legit.
Oh.
Yeah. I can tell you mine. People always say like, yo, you're probably lawful good, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm good, yes, but I'm neutral. I'm a neutral good. Whereas I'm probably a little bit more idealistic. I don't believe the laws and rules that are currently established actually work. There needs to be change. But I'm not overly chaotic, in which I'm not going to do harm to do good, or I'm not going to do too much harm to do good.
Yeah. I would say my sense of humor is chaotic good.
Fair.
But as a person, probably as a person who's not the wrestler, I'd be super boring. It'd be lawful good.
Okay. But really, lawful good. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's lame. Okay. But a sense of humor, chaotic good. I love. I do like a little bit of dark humor. Like I don't post any of that stuff on Twitter, but like a little bit of a spicy meme. Like, ooh, yes. Yeah.
Like, I'll take that. That was a good one. Some of those, they just stay in the group chat. They just stay there.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess. But Kiara the wrestler, maybe chaotic evil.
Eve.
It's gotta be. Come on, chaotic evil. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Night and day.
Like why would you want to be lawful good as a wrestler? That would be the most dull thing.
Wow. Actually, when I think about it, there's not like a really good lawful good wrestler. Does Rey Mysterio count? He might be the only one.
Maybe John Cena. And John Cena.
Okay, John Cena.
Yeah,
and
Rey
Rey
Mysterio, John. Yeah, anyone that's like kid facing, I guess.
Yeah. So
Bailey before
Yep. The whole switch up.
the wacky wavy inflatable.
Inflatable arm flailing too, man. Yeah. All the hugs.
I miss them. I miss the inflatable tube man.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. The Bailey belly suplex. Yo.
Rip tube man.
And all right, so sorry about that. Had a little audio mishap, but you were explaining. So, what would your class be as you, Kiara, and you, Kiara, the wrestler?
So, as a play style, I always love stealth. That's not a class though, is it? So I'm going to need you to talk me through the classes. There's like rogue. Yes, that was mine. I was rogue.
100.
And my character accidentally became a werewolf. Right? It's just so it was so annoying. I would always do stupid. I do stupid charismatic, and I got bitten. I'm like, oh, I was never Team Jacob when Twilight came out. I don't want to be a werewolf, but that's just how it went. I probably would be Rogue as wrestler Kiara as well. Rogue's super fun. It's more sneaky.
Yes, it's incredibly sneaky.
One
with the shadows, sort of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's also what heel does. They'll kind of find opportunities when the ref's looking the other way. Bam, poke to the eye, a little bit of hair pulling, a little bit of choking on the rope. That's just how it works as a heel.
That's true. Little underhanded, little sleight of hand rolls. A lot of,
especially in a tag team match. You're not tagged in, but give a little shot to the opponent. All that good stuff.
Little dig right there. Okay. Damn, I was none of those. I was never a rogue, not once, ever.
What were you?
I don't think I ever will be. So real meat, neutral good. So then my class would also probably be I'm a paladin.
Yeah,
I'm a paladin. Cool. And I know a lot of people are like, that's hacks, that's corny, blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, bro, but like I do it so well. So I'm probably a paladin with like bard / monk subclassing because I throw hands. I do have a collection of swords in real life. But also I'm a poet too, so it's like I'm out here just.
Oh, that's really sweet. Did you ever play RuneScape? Because I'm getting like RuneScape flashbacks.
I did play RuneScape a little bit.
What was your combat level?
Not high. I didn't play for that long because when I did play at the time, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm into this yet or not. And then I actually think I left RuneScape for MapleStory, and I was pretty good at MapleStory for a bit.
Guess what year I started playing? And I'm going to be so hipster now saying I started it before it was cool.
Yeah, you definitely started before it was cool.
Yeah. So, Can you guess?
I'm trying to remember when I started playing. So that was like early thousands. So then I'm guessing, let's say like 2005, 2006.
2002, baby.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
super early.
Ahead of the curve. Okay.
And I never did mage. I should have done more range because when I play Skyrim, I love, again, stealth, range attacks, but I was just kind of boring. I defense was always the stat I was bored of. Basically, I was very unstrategic because I was young and dumb, so I sunk a lot of hours. But yeah, 96. All right, 96. When I go out on a date with someone, first question, what's your combat level? If mine's better than them, like, bye, blocker, bye-bye.
At the time, they needed to be a better gamer than you in order to get the date. Wow, okay. Hey, everyone got their standards. You know what? You do need someone to be either at or exceed your level.
Exactly.
Fair enough. That's what's up, though. All right. So yeah, I'd be a paladin. And damn, what? That actually brings me a story. So the first time I played D&D, I think I had like the coolest heroes like journey ever. So at the end of everything, my character sacrificed himself. But it was a good sacrifice because in sacrificing himself, he achieved godhood. And achieving this godhood allowed the party to fight an actual god who was pretty much gonna destroy the entire world we lived in. So yeah, we
like a demigorgon, or I can't remember what they're called.
No, this was a goddess called the Red Queen. She was pretty much like a very tyrannical god of war sort of type in the campaign, and we won. My character died, but
there's no Dragon Balls to wish him back.
No, he didn't want to be wished back. He was like, well, if this is the way I can protect my people, my mortal self is gone. I'm a god, and that's it. And the saddest thing was he was soon to be wed, so he was going to be to
Oh
be
no.
wedded. He had said goodbye to his dad because he had took up the mantle of his father in like the Paladin Guard. So it was a lot of like, all right, well, chapters are closing. Some things will just never be written, and that's okay.
Most people don't have that much depth to their D&D characters. I appreciate that. And I
Yeah,
like that there's a resolution to the story.
Mm-hmm. It was nice. We try and I would say my friends and I we do like seasons of like these
Yeah.
D&D campaigns, and for each campaign, thankfully we've had it where it lasted a couple years, and that was one of those campaigns that lasted a couple years. We've had one that lasted like a couple months. We never finished it. I want to finish it because that character was really cool, but this new one we're in, shit's so stressful.
Yeah.
Like it's so deep, it's so stressful. We've been at this, I think, since just a little bit before the pandemic, and I'm like, oh, we're in deep now.
Before?
Yeah, since before the pandemic,
Oh, that's a long
and
time.
we should be finishing up soon. We are in the third act of the entire
Okay.
campaign. So
Act 3.
act 3, and it's a doozy. So
I love that word, a doozy.
a doozy. So then I got a couple other like questions so people can get to know you a little bit better, and I think these are fun. So the next one I have for you is, if you were to be isekai anywhere, just wherever, where would you want to be isekai to? And you're allowed to have protagonist armor. I'll say that.
I forgot what isekai means.
That's cool. No need for a timeout. Isekai just means transported to another world.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a transmission. Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah. Another world of reality. Back in.
Let's see. The main thing, I would want to be in a world where I can fly, Bukujutsu, right? My friend Jenny is always, she knows me very well, and it's any world where flying is possible with Ki.
Okay.
But in terms of physical location, Namek would suck because like Namek sucks. It's super boring. It'd have to be something interesting. You know, like what's it called? The Blade Runner world is super aesthetic.
Yeah.
So something that's aesthetically cool, but also not dystopian. It's hard to find something that's not dystopian,
but also super cool.
Yeah. I mean, the Dragon Ball world, if you're just like a human in the Dragon Ball world, it would be terrifying because like weird shit would happen all the time. Like the sky goes black, there's a dragon, you'd be like, yeah.
Yo, that's the realest thing though. Like, can we just literally take a moment to realize, like, if you're just a regular person in the Dragon Ball Z world, why bother? It's like they just play with my life every day. It's exactly. Like this is real.
It's like a muggle relationship. It's weird. Like a lot of like the fact they have sensu beans and Dende can heal people, but like presumably, I mean, we've seen there are hospitals in the Dragon Ball world. Goku goes to a hospital after the Saiyan saga, so obviously people get ill. So in a way, they're kind of selfish that they're hoarding all these powers. I mean, Gohan teaches Videl in a couple episodes how to fly and stuff.
Yeah.
So like
use her key to like an outward. Yeah.
Like if global warming is happening in the Dragon Ball world and everyone could fly, I mean.
Do you know who I actually blame though?
What?
Bulma's family. They are literally the 0.00 repeating 1% of the entire world, richer than like any government the world has.
Exactly.
And do you know what she does? Or the Dragon Balls and wish for a BBL?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
That was Bulma? So funny.
I was so mad when Piccolo said, "You've really been doing this for cosmetics things. You could just go to the gym and get better makeup." Oh,
you should do squats. And also, I swear, in Dragon Ball, I think I can't remember. It's probably on my poster because this poster, by the way, guys. I'll zoom up near the end. It's got everyone up until like Super came out, and I mean everyone. So there's a kid that I think Goku fights in one of the Tenkaichi Budokais in Dragon Ball, and he beats him, but he's from a village where there's like no water. So what they do with those little capsule hoi poi things, he goes and gives him water, and it's like, why don't they do that more?
Exactly.
They're just, yeah.
They could. I mean, look. At this point, Goku is just like, I just gotta get stronger to defend the world. I don't know what they want from me. I'm just protecting y'all from from death each and every day. That's Bulma's job. There's other people. Korin, you can literally just come down from your tower at any point. There's flying cars, man. I'm surprised you don't know how to fly, or you probably do, just don't feel like it. All the sense
I
you
feel
need.
like people rip on Goku a bit too much. It's super fashionable to be like, oh, Goku's not Gohan's real dad. Okay, we get it. But he's still pure. I know, it's like, okay, we get it. It's kind of funny. It's a bit of a cheap laugh, but he is pure. Like, he wants to train. He's never been two-faced about it. Like, he's very upfront with what he wants in life. So you got to respect that. He's not trying to play people.
Exactly. And my thing about Goku being, oh my god, I hear my friends right now. That's not Gohan's dad. Goku is Gohan's father. Get over it.
He loves
Piccolo
him.
is a great addition to the family. He is Gohan's uncle. That's totally fine. There's nothing, and he can be a father figure too. It's just someone he looks up to. That's totally cool.
And technically, Piccolo is a gender. Like, the Namekians don't have a gender, so
they don't. They just.
Is he a father figure? Is he?
He's a
figure.
Yeah, he's a parental guardian. That's the best way of putting it.
I love how much depth we got from Piccolo in the new movie. Like, we needed that.
Yo, yeah.
And the laugh when he's like, "I only drink water." Like, everyone in the cinema burst out laughing.
Because Videl kept. She was like, "You need anything to eat, anything to drink?" I only need water and sunlight. Yeah. And the funny thing about that it's actually is it Hindu? Like a Hindu,
in the Hindu dub,
yogi sort of thing, where it's like once you reach a certain plane of I think enlightenment and like harmony within yourself, with the world. Forgive me, anyone who actually practiced, if I butchered any of the actual meaning or how you actually achieve it, but I do know it is said that you only need to survive on sunlight and water. And Piccolo meditates all the time, so that kind of makes sense. That's actually kind of funny to me. I'm like, oh, you know what? That tracks. That makes sense for him. Also, he's an alien, but you know that tracks too. Yeah. But there was so much. I'm happy this was a Piccolo movie. I think as much as people want to say this was also a Gohan movie, I actually disagree. This was Piccolo's movie.
It was the slice of life. It's more just that refreshing. What drew us to the whole world to begin with, the refreshing, like when he references the fact that he never got his driving license, throwbacks like that, so good.
When Krillin said, Piccolo, get big, I knew instantly what he meant, and I was like, the sheer fact we are just now bringing this up. It's like Piccolo, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I did that." I'm like,
"Yeah, that was." I love how he broke the fourth wall, but I forgot I could do that.
I was like, "Bro, ain't no way, funny. Ain't no freaking way, dog. You forgot you could be a giant." Like, if my issue with that like throwaway, "Oh yeah, I forgot I could do." I would have liked it more if there was a better throwaway line in it where he was like, I know where you're coming from, right? Normally I would, but it takes way too much stamina out of me. As making it so it's like, all right, he can use that form sparingly, and there's a time and a place for it. I guess now is a good, time for it. But the reason he never used it before is because it would just deplete him like of everything he has. But he's like, nah, I forgot him. Like, so you mean you can be as strong as you are, but bigger? Bro, do you know how many enemies we could have just defeated in a single shot?
And it's like how in the anime, when they does the multi-form technique, or the Kagebushin no Jutsu, it does explain that it cuts his power level. So I think if they do a retelling of the superhero movie like they did in the Super anime, I think they'll add, there's things like with Android 18's reaction to Cell where I wish they did more time on that.
He needed more.
And it would be such a good, like, there was like a little moment, but it'd be interesting if they do a retelling of it. But also I do want to get to new content as well. Exactly. With the new animes, what's gonna happen?
I mean, well, let's talk about it a bit. Like, what do we think is gonna happen in new anime? Like, I know they're gonna try and adapt everything from the manga, but are they gonna stop at Moro? Are they gonna do Moro and the Granola arc? Possibly. Honestly, with how it ended, I think so, because now they're taking some time to start the next arc in the manga. So.
Yeah. What I'd be interested to know is which arc out of Moro and Granola performed better in Japan. But then on the flip side of that, we know that Superhero did way better outside of Japan.
That's true.
So yeah, my initial thought would be, okay, well, whichever one was more popular, they'll probably adapt that one. But then, I mean,
I feel like they're gonna have to adapt both. I think it's.
Do you think?
I think so. I think you can't tell the story without both sagas, and it's possible they change it up for the anime because obviously that happens like all the time. But I think you need both sagas to happen, probably just told differently if they want to change anything. I think if there's one saga that's going to get changed probably entirely, it will probably be the Granola arc. Just because I think the whole Moro arc was a bit more complete and gave us better questions to make us want more than the Granola arc, where granted that arc is gonna do incredibly well. All right, I'm just gonna say it now. Hey, this is spoilers for any and everyone watching and listening. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Okay, Black Frieza? The fuck, fam?
Oh my gosh. There's a wrestling t-shirt from Stone Cold. It's like, arrive, raise hell, leave. I'm like,
yes.
That's so good. So good.
I was like, I can't go. So the line Vegeta used in it was the Broly movie when he was telling Goku, like, you fuck, like, pretty much, you idiot, you brought Frieza back. You remember how strong he was when he first came back in that golden form. I'm training because of his ass, because you're stupid and Frieza's still alive. He should have just been dead. So now Vegeta was right. It was like,
yeah. This wasn't his final form.
No, it wasn't his final form. And I have a couple questions like that, get raised off of that. But with Frieza, and again, spoiler alert, because I'm just, the way Frieza came onto the scene, I have to admit, I'm like, damn, this might have been the sickest shit you ever did, Frieza. He came to their spot, said, oh, some old subordinates of mine were talking wreck. Okay, so what's up? Bye. You're dead. Okay. I don't know what you're thinking. You're dead. You too.
You're gonna have to level my sound because I'm laughing so much.
No, you're good. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, but
I want to see who would win, right?
Go ahead.
Are we saying Beastar, Son Gohan Beastar, or Black Frieza? Like, I want to know. And I've seen there's lots of fan theories out, but what is your opinion right now?
All right. So, I'm taking everything into account, right? So forgive me if I explain things in a long-winded manner. This is what's going to help me draw it out. Not draw it out, like draw out my answer. So we know Frieza, he actually trained this time.
Mm-hmm.
He went to one of his old captured and conquered planets, and he found a doorway.
10 years.
Just for 10 years. 10. He trained for 10 years. He actually trained this time. And he found that gateway into the hyperbolic time chamber. Holy shit. One, that's a big thing. That's a very big thing. Secondly, he comes with this new form, and he's now stronger than, people are going to hate that I say it like this, Vegeta.
Do you think Ultra Ego?
Because he's stronger than Vegeta's Ultra Ego
right
now. But the thing I have to say is, when he did beat Goku was using an imperfect form of Ultra Instinct. And the thing about that is, because Goku wanted to use his Saiyan fighting spirit, and that dilutes the godliness of Ultra Instinct, which will dilute its power and the actual purpose of it. Because when he's training with Whis, pretty much has it, he doesn't have it mastered, but he's learning it in, at that time, the mastered form for himself. He still gets beat by Granola, fair and square, but then he comes back stronger, as all Saiyans do, and his power is increased. Vegeta's talking to him. I hope you can, deflect this Hakai, essentially. He deflects the Hakai. He's like, okay, this shit was strong. It's cool. But he still has more, like, precognition. He's able to see his opponent's moves and read them a little bit better in the mastered form than that Omen Saiyan form. So do I think Frieza is still stronger than that? Probably. but I think it's one of those things. Unless Frieza learned how to maintain his stamina,
Mm-hmm.
that Goku and Vegeta have that upper hand, and their sayings they'll keep on ticking. They'll keep on fighting like they're fucking Rocky Balboa to the
Exactly.
bitter end. But Frieza's stronger than them, and if he wanted to, he probably could clap him. But Frieza and Gohan,
We barely see enough of Beast Gohan. He does like what? He does one kick, right? So he blocks the punch, does one kick, and then bam.
but the
And
thing is,
I wish we saw more.
Cell at that time, right in the movie, by the creator, stated stronger than Goku and Vegeta. Now we don't know if that's in
Yeah.
blue form
Was
or if
that
that's in their god forms, right?
was that confirmed? Was that
He said it himself,
yeah,
confirmed in an
okay.
actual
I think
interview.
yeah, yeah.
He said, "Yeah, Cell Max at that stage, like, and that wasn't, I guess, quote unquote perfect at that stage, was stronger than Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo because Piccolo is on the same tier now as Goku and Vegeta, and I think that's in their like god forms, right? Which let's go, Piccolo, my man. So then when Gohan finally unleashed everything and activated his beast mode, when Cell hit him, Gohan didn't move at all.
That was so cool.
The sheer fact Gohan was like, "Don't you fucking touch me."
Oh my god. Bro.
Let's do this shit, boy.
I love watching the cinema reaction, the American ones. The British ones kind of suck. Like British people can be a bit not to poo on my own country, but they can be very quiet. But then you watch the American, they're like, "Oh, fucking god!" And it's like, "Guess it's my turn." And I'm like, "Oh, that was badass." And also Orange Piccolo, when Gamma's looking up at him, and it's that shadow, and I love those badass moments.
Get clocked, ain't I? You dead. I'm gonna say it's because of how Whis says everything, right? Because he's there on the destroyer planet with Broly. He says Gohan is the strongest on Earth, and then in the manga, he also questions Frieza's strength. He kind of says, "Oh, Frieza has gotten a lot stronger, but is he the strongest in the universe?" And he says it as a question mark. And the thing I'm saying is that no, in Universe 7, all three of them are not the strongest because there's a sleeper hit. And the only reason it's a sleeper hit is because the person's a kid, and that's Oob.
Yeah, I know. When are we gonna get Oob?
And I say that, and people are like, "Yo, what the fuck? How can you say that, Gohan?" Blah 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 blah. Look, legitimately, right? I say that because if it wasn't for Oob, Goku and the entire universe would have been dead from Moro. Literally, the amount of energy that Oob gave Goku was all God energy, and it was a tremendous amount of energy. It was redonkulous, for real.
Redonkulous, I love that. But so he's got to be in the new anime, surely, because there's a web anime and I don't understand. There's like two new ones, so he's got to be in one of them, surely.
So he should be in the canon one and not like the promotional.
Is the promotional one more like Super Dragon Ball Heroes?
Yes, that's what that is, and there is no power scaling in that bitch at all. It's like GT. There's like
that's
GT.
A disaster. Yeah. That's a clusterfuck.
I mean, no offense to GT, you gave us some cool moments. I like Super Saiyan 4, but like, hey,
I like GT. Okay, a lot of people shit on GT, and as you know, as a young girl growing up, Pan was like a big deal for me. And obviously, when you get to Kale and Kefla, that was just like mind blown. Like, oh, finally we have like really cool female Super Saiyans. But yeah, for Pan and so I mean, it deserves some criticism, but it's like I enjoy it a lot more than a lot of people give it credit for.
Real talk, with the new movie, I thought Pan was gonna go Super Saiyan for real.
No.
The only reason I say that because I think I saw like a fake promotional art, and it was like it was Pan as Super Saiyan. I'm like, yo, this shit look kind of nice. It would be good if that happened. But like, I was happy she learned how to fly. Then she is 3, so I didn't know that going in. But I'm like, all right, cool. She's 3. She can fly. I'll take.
She will learn it. It's like how Gohan went Beast. Yeah. Because he thought Piccolo died, but he didn't actually. Like, if Piccolo had died, everyone would have been complaining, "Oh, another death." Like, I'm glad that they have to be fresh without being too predictable. Like, it will happen for her. Pan has got Pan in the new movie. Is she on? Well, she is on here. Yeah, she's down. She's down there.
Yeah.
So Pan in the new movie is I think a
It's
lot more
younger than that
interesting than
one.
this pan.
Yeah.
Is younger than this one.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. By like what, a year?
No. That
How
pan
many?
actually. Yeah. No, you're right. By a year. By a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that pan. Look, I
I
know
just love the
people say she
character
was like,
design.
yeah. I mean,
You didn't like it? I just
I
like the
like.
little red. She's so cute.
I liked it. I liked it. I like Pan. I know a lot of people didn't like Pan. What I'm getting at is like actually what I'm congratulating Super for doing is taking elements from Dragon Ball GT and using them, I think, better, and as well to give people, what they wanted. Like Super Saiyan 4, for instance, the way you achieve that transformation is being able to have the grade
Let's
8
wait.
form, but still have consciousness while you're in said form. The only person that has it in the entire series, Broly. So technically, Super Saiyan 4 exists, and Super Saiyan 4 was incredibly strong because he was bashing the skulls out of gods, mortal gods. So then not only that, Pan coming back, she's going to be a big player later on, which is good because it shows like a future for Dragon Ball and the entire franchise, which hopefully that maybe Gohan and Piccolo can lead. Which
I would want that. I just don't think that would ever happen. I think Goku's too popular in Japan. As much as I would love, yeah.
Yeah, like I completely agree. And like something we talk about is that it would be good if there were just like different teams just monitoring different sectors, right? Goku, Vegeta, you guys want to fight, you want to get stronger always. There's going to be bigger, badder enemies, but it's totally okay if you stayed on Beerus's planet. Please come home every once in a while because obviously you got kids, you got family, right? People want to see you. But if you stayed over there, cool, that's fine. Gohan and Piccolo are now strong enough to defend the Earth and the galaxy as a whole, right?
Yeah.
And then we
I want to see maybe Bulla, right?
And Bulla, I mean, hopefully. I mean, if she wants to, you never know if she wants to train like that. But maybe she might if Trunks like trains her a bit since Vegeta's out there. Vegeta will probably come back and train her a little bit, but we'll probably make that Trunks' duty. Train your sister. Make sure she's
that would be nice. That'd actually be nice. We've not had that dynamic, like an older brother, younger sister. And have we? Well, I mean, let me think.
Nope.
We haven't, have we? That'd be a nice new dynamic to explore because it's like a protective thing, but it's also, yeah. And I think anything where you can bring a new or a fresh dynamic to a decades-old franchise is always a welcome addition.
Exactly. And where the hell is 17? Like 17,
I know.
18? Like I want to see his
17.
family.
I saw such a cool fan art, and it was like 17 in like Drip Supreme, and he had like a fade, and I was like, yes. He was still with all the animals and stuff, but it was like
he just dripped out.
Yes,
I got style. So what? I'm a ranger, and what? But I ain't gonna front. Actually, I actually do like the Super 17 aesthetic. I actually like that a bit.
Yes, that was it. I like that arc in GT. I don't think there's any GT on here actually, but
maybe not, and that's okay.
But in the UK and Canada, we had a different dub for GT. You probably know this. Yeah, it's the Blue Water dub. So I prefer the Funimation voice actors, but the thing that made Blue Water more interesting was they kept the Japanese music. So we didn't have "Welcome to the Grand Tour, Dragon Ball GT." Like, we didn't have that. We were we had the Dan Dan. Everyone loves that. Like even die-hard GT haters love that song.
That's fair. It's really good. Man, I love Dragon Ball so much that I even bought the entire series of GT.
Good for you.
You know what? I'm gonna own it. It's cool. Just because like
please support the official release.
Exactly, because there's elements in there that were really dope, man. Like the Shadow. Look, if we get
Shadow Dragons, yes. That was a very good storyline, and it makes sense because the one that's like Oolong wished for like panties and it's like the dragon, and she's like embarrassed and ashamed by that. Like, oh, it's so funny, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, there's a bit of comeuppance from all these stupid wishes. Like you could have cured world hunger. No,
wishes. Yeah,
I like the comeuppance things. Actions have consequences.
And you know what? Do you know who I want to be the protagonist of the Shadow Dragon arc? It has to be Piccolo. I want it to be Piccolo.
Because of the connection to the Dragon Balls?
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
Yeah, that does actually. Yeah, he'd be like the one to maybe restore.
Yep.
Yes.
Get this new form a little bit more.
We need to get Akira Toriyama on the phone.
Hey, Akira, I got ideas, man. Look.
Yo. My
Like how do
man.
we do this? Let's talk about Piccolo, right? You know, the Namekians and the dragons. I know there's a connection.
That's his favorite character, right? Piccolo is
Piccolo
his
is his
favorite.
favorite character.
Yeah, so that wouldn't exactly be a hard sell.
He's like, oh, okay, you know, we're gonna make that happen down the line. That would be perfect. Man, I know people are still gonna be mad that I said Oob is probably the strongest. Look, if it's not Oob, it will be Gohan.
Do you think?
I say that with still an inquisitive pause because of Broly. And I say because Broly's power as the legendary Super Saiyan, his stamina is bottomless. That's canon. He will not tire, right? You have to get rid of him in like a single shot in order to really kill him. But the sheer fact that he's learning to control it and will probably attain some sort of god form on top of that.
Yeah, god form on that. Yeah.
There ain't no way he's going angelic. So definitely Destroyer. So we get
Destroyer.
Destroyer,
So good.
I
think Oob also because Gohan. The reason why Gohan did so well in the Cell games, he was always the underdog, right? Yeah. So now with him, and he became the underdog again. What with becoming a family man and a scholar, now a biologist, but he's kind of lost the underdog feel. Whereas I think Oob is still underrated, and I think having an underdog show out, as we'd say in wrestling, show out, I think that's very compelling, and it's something that people don't expect. So I think people telling you you're dumb for saying that, I think they're going to eat their words soon.
Hey, I think so, and I'm happy I got backup on that because, like, I mean, Oob is for the most part an unknown factor, and don't count out the unknown. When he shows up and he's like, oh shit, he's just out here clashing with gods already. Yeah, I wonder why. Who said, ooh, you know, he's only like 7.
He's on here somewhere. I think I said to you, well, we didn't record it, but this guy. Yeah. So before they reanimated the plan to eradicate the Saiyans, it was an OVA that was very difficult to find. It was on like the Famicom. This poster has that guy. All right. This poster has everyone. It's when I took a picture of it, did a Google Lens, Google image search, and I can't find a digital version. It's always just like, you know, someone taking a picture of a poster. So I wish I had a copy because it's so fun to like zoom in and look. Anyway, I'll stop talking about the poster.
No, you good. We talking Dragon Ball, right? Dragon Ball Z, and then I guess what are some things that I guess interest you? What are questions that you have about the series, whether it be more of its direction, whether it be character related, or what's something that you want to say about Dragon Ball Z and its influence and experience with you? Before I ask any more questions. Yeah.
I think what's helped with Super, so we had little nuggets of it. So Akira Toriyama, he's always admitted he sucks at writing romance. I mean, it's never been his strength. So I remember around the late 2000s, there'd be a small group of people that were really shipping Bulma and Vegeta, and there'd be like a couple scenes that they'd like latch onto and like minimal amount of content. Then we get to Super, where it's like, my Bulma, and like people love that. And I feel like it's obviously not a romance. It's not a shoujo or shoujo, as you know, a girl's thing. But if you want more of the mass audience, those little key moments are so important. And you can see where Akira Toriyama has had other writers and editors give him input to make it more mass appeal. And those little tweaks. And it's the same how, like, my mum, I got her to see the Broly movie and this movie, and she I'm always drag her around. I saw this new one like 4 times in the cinema. I would have seen it more, but I have a day job and wrestling. So but anyway, so I feel like this newest movie is more accessible to the general public, and it's about bringing more people in. And what does piss me off a lot is Team 4-Star do not get the credit they deserve, because there was a drought in the fandom before Kai where, you know, Naruto and Bleach, it was all about Naruto and Bleach. Amazing shows, don't get me wrong.
Big 3 for a reason, yeah.
But it was dying. The fandom was dying. And Team 4-Star brought a lot of people back. And I think all this new stuff would not be as successful without it.
Got you. All right. And you were saying about, more theories. So you were saying actually about the
Mass appeal.
Mass appeal and the romance factor, right? And how this one just feels different. And
Yeah, and there wasn't enough of it in the original. Not, I mean, I'm always drawn to shonen more, but I know that even a little bit can hook a lot more of the female audience. And the same with having the female Saiyans. I
true.
mean, that's really cool. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna fangirl massively, but and having the multiverse thing is, you know, that was such a great, fantastic avenue to explore that and bring in new elements to the show. And I hope they continue to do that with all the new content we're gonna get.
I think they will too. Like when they first brought in the women Saiyans, that was dope. I didn't like how they had to transform though, if I'm being honest.
The
Like,
tingly back thing, that was a little
yeah,
bit
like
lame.
I'm usually not like this when I say you motherfuckers had it easy. You need to go
Yeah,
through the same
yeah.
shit. So, like, I don't actually
That's how
like
I felt
think
with
like that
Goten and
anymore.
Trunks a little bit too, to be fair.
Like, yeah, because when Vegeta says like, "Wow, so this is really just a plaything now,
It's a
huh?" Like,
bargain, it's a Super Saiyan bargain sale.
exactly. I'm like, damn. So you just have to have an itchy back and you go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's because they got to bring them up to. It's all about power scaling. Gonna plug my newest video,
Yes.
Star Wars versus Dragon Ball. There's super power scaling in both. It's the same with the newest Star Wars. You got like a fleet of hundreds and hundreds of Star Destroyers, whereas in Episode 4 there was like one. So it's like you have to get bigger and bigger. So when you introduce new characters, sometimes the trap to fall into is to kind of shortcut. Is why people didn't like Rey in Star Wars. She didn't really have to train as hard to be that good of a Jedi, and she was amazing at piloting the Millennium Falcon. But I still love Rey, obviously.
Yeah.
But if they had added a couple more scenes of struggling, even like a montage, it would have helped the believability. And yeah, that tingly back thing, I think that rubbed people the wrong way.
It's just because it's a different universe. That's also another thing. And a different universe has different rules. I didn't like it, but it's just in Universe 7, it's like, yo, they went through so much trauma to get to this. And then you're just like, yo, my back, it just, oh, I'm Super Saiyan 2 out the gate.
You know what's weird though? I was rereading the manga for the Trunks, the history of Trunks, and when he finds Future Gohan, he doesn't actually transform into Super Saiyan at seeing his master's dead body. So that was really weird because obviously, I mean, I thought it was canon that was the first time he went Super Saiyan. But if you go back into the manga, perhaps it's just assumed that he had transformed at some other point in training. Yeah, it's really weird.
Okay, because or you know what, it might have been imperfect because that probably was, at least from the movie standpoint, the first time. And just because you do it the first time doesn't mean you have it under control. Because like the same thing was said with Gohan in the hyperbolic time chamber. He transformed once thinking of Frieza, but he didn't have it fully mastered, so it was hard to tap back into it until he finally was able to. So, all right, that's fair. Damn.
Huh. And with Super Saiyan 2 as well, this is an anime only. There's like a flashback where they've been training for like so many hours, and he goes Super Saiyan 2 with the lightning for a split second. Again, anime only, but that's kind of cool.
I mean, shit. And Super, he said, fuck Super Saiyan 3. I don't know what a god is. 2, whatever. It's me in this in-between anger state. I was like,
freaking love it. I love the color scheme as well. I think, and I can see why they switched back to the red band rather than the blue.
Yeah.
Because the red and the kind of pinky tones, they made pink look pretty cool.
They did. It was pretty fire, if I must say. And like, actually, this brings me to the question of what transformation, like of the Super Saiyan variety and then overall in Dragon Ball Z, do you hate or dislike the most?
Ooh, good question. I'm gonna piss off a lot of people. I'm sorry, but it's got to be 3 because it just didn't feel as earned. It just happened. You know, the music was cool. I'll admit. It's like, and this is to go further beyond. Like they did as much with it as they could, but it still felt not earned. If that makes sense. And
now it's a pointless transformation. Like Goku even said it. This was something you could really only do with a dead body because the stamina drain is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's no need. So then for me, I have so many forms actually that I'm like, they were
Yeah.
cool in the moment, but like I think about it, if this were for real, some of these forms are not needed at
Like
all.
what? Which ones?
Like that bulky, quote unquote, Ultra
Yeah.
Saiyan form, not needed at all. Never use that. Super
But they
Saiyan
said that
2,
in the to be fair, they said that it
they did. They did. But like I'm just like clarifying. Never don't use it. Super Saiyan 3, I agree, is probably my first like this is cool. I don't like it actually.
and
Um
like eyebrows.
right, in the eyebrows. And surprisingly, the original design of Super Saiyan 3 they bring back to use as Ultra Ego.
That
Vegeta
I
has
actually
it.
like. Yeah, that's the only time I liked the no eyebrow look.
Yep, and
I
it
wasn't
works.
expecting to like it. Yeah, it does,
It
doesn't it?
works very well. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was
Um
potential there.
so there was potential. They just whatever the original concept was, and that's another thing that I've been liking. Like they are reusing certain
Mm.
things, or not reusing, or things that were scrapped they couldn't use, and they're bringing it into the forefront. Like, all right, no, we're gonna make this work. I feel like this can actually work this time around. It just couldn't work back then, and timing is everything for real, for real. But Super Saiyan 3, cool. Don't use it. Super like that Ultra Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, don't use them. Not good forms. The only one that actually looked cool with Super Saiyan 2 was Gohan. That is it. Absolutely the truth.
Okay.
That's it.
We can be friends again now. I mean,
Yeah.
for a second now, I was thinking I'm gonna have to block you, but
No,
it's
no, no,
okay.
no, no. We homies for real. And honestly, I wouldn't even be mad if they were like, if Gohan's transformations were like, okay, his base form, his Super Saiyan 2 form, because fuck his Super Saiyan 1, his ultimate form, and then because like his I have another theory, I'll bring that up later. Ultimate form, and then obviously his beast form. That would be good. That'd be grade A. That would make a lot of sense for him.
I always used to hate the ultimate form. I
Yeah.
always used to hate it, but the newest movie, I don't know if for some reason I just liked it more in the new movie.
I have a theory on
Yeah.
why it is the way it is and
Why does
how
it
it's
look
like
better?
portrayed in the manga. But the forms, actually don't like Super Saiyan Blue.
No, really?
I don't like
no.
it for Goku. I should be more specific. I don't like it for Goku. I like it for Vegeta.
Okay.
And the reason being is that the way Goku got godhood was way different than how Vegeta did. And I think it would have been beautiful if they showed that there is a clear distinction in how you attain that, that ability. Because Goku got his by having people pour his power into him, while Vegeta attained that off the muscle by himself. He had
Yeah.
training from Whis, but he transformed by himself. So then it would be like whenever Goku taps into his God form, he's tapping into all the energies that were poured into him. Like there's like remnants within inside of him because he was still able to use some of that back during the Frieza movie when he pretty much attained the God level without transforming. It's like, so that is the Saiyan above, like the Saiyan who has reached
Super
God.
Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Right. So then when he actually dons the red hair, it's like, okay, so now he's in God mode. That I think the red, honestly, even with like the Kaioken and stuff, it just works better for Goku. And I think the
I like
blue
his
just works
eyes as
better for
well.
Vegeta. Yeah, and his eyes.
Now that you
And
say that, I agree. The slender and the eyes for Goku with the base hair with red, and Vegeta with the blue.
The blue.
Yeah,
It's just,
I'll
it
admit, that works better.
Has like a very nice like regalness and majesty to it for both
Yes,
of them.
for the prince.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I am the Prince of all Saiyans, and this is what
Yes.
it looks like when I attain godhood. Like, perfect. That would have been perfect. So, like, for both of them, it's like you both have your base forms, you both have Super Saiyans, you both have different God forms, and then it just makes sense to have the different transformations of like destruction mode, and angelic Ultra Instinct. You don't
like
need the
a yin and yang, I guess.
Exactly. It's like
I
you
hadn't thought of
show the
that.
divergence of their paths. They're both growing stronger. They're both equal, but it's different paths for both of them. And I think that's all they really need. They don't need all these other transformations. They don't even use all these other transformations. But I think it'd just be cool to have those around. And obviously Piccolo just got, orange. I mean,
it sounds better in the Japanese. Orange. Orange Piccolo. Like, it just sounds. But then Akira Toriyama said that Piccolo was supposed it. I can't remember the interview, but he said that he would just make up a dumb name because Piccolo isn't quite in touch. But it's growing on me. What do you think?
No.
No.
No. I fucks with it because it's Piccolo.
It's because Beast is such a trending, like hype Beast. Like Beast is such a good name for Gohan.
And it's Beast mode. That makes sense. But
it sounds so cool. And then if that wasn't as cool, it's the contrast. It makes Orange Piccolo sound worse. But it's a badass form. It's so bad. And someone said I didn't even notice the antennas move.
Mm-hmm. They did. They moved big time. It's one of those things where it's like, dog, you literally had the opportunity to just call him a super Namekian.
Do you think?
That would have made the most sense in my opinion.
What would have been right if it wasn't Super Namekian, if it wasn't orange? Is there a third one that you could think of?
It would have to be a dragon-like form or some sort of dragon name. Just because. Okay, so now I'm getting back into more theory territory, right? And thank you for being a wonderful guest because I feel like I have not been able to nerd out about this movie as much as I possibly can. So this brings me to the fact that obviously Piccolo and most Namekians have a strong connection with the dragons, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Salama. I'm forgetting the name of the super old powerful Namekian, but
I forgot to.
But also, created the Super Dragon Balls. So that right there, if you put it on the grand scheme, is maybe not powerful, but at least magical abilities similar to a lot of the other gods, maybe angels, because you literally created something that, well, people from other universes would want. You created the Super Dragon Balls, and then you are the grand descendant of the entire race of people who have the connection to these other dragons. So, along with that, when Shenron was like, "Oh, you just have a little bit left over," part of me was thinking, so when Piccolo is falling, right, and it echoes again, you just have a little bit left over. It's like, was he just talking to Piccolo, or was he talking to everyone Piccolo absorbed? Because I feel like when the tree on his back started, like it glowed, that's the Namekian tree. That's their roots, where they came from. So it's like he's tapping into pretty much homeworld.
And it reminded me of the Tournament of Power when all those other Namekians would fuse, and then you have that image of all them standing there. But with my interpretation of Shenron saying all you had plus a bit extra, I felt like Shenron chucked him I don't know, maybe because they were buddies. It's like, say you were Pilaf and you asked for 100 million Zenny, but he was best buddies with Pilaf, so he'd give him 100 million in Zenny plus, I don't know, 500,000. Yeah. My interpretation was that Shenron chucking him a little bit extra. I don't know. What do you think? Or is it the fact you're saying it's more like the descendants of Namekian with the tree, and I feel like maybe it's more of a significance with that?
Well, I think it could be both. And the reason I say that is I think it can be both because I feel like Shenron was talking to both Piccolo, to both Kami, and to Nail. Like he's like, hey, you just have a little bit left over. These are all the people Piccolo has absorbed, and each person he's absorbed has always been a Namekian of the warrior class and has always been the greatest of said class. So it's like, all right, Piccolo, you have a little bit left over, so do you two. I like y'all. Here's a little bit extra. And then boom. It's like, okay. So now he's the Super Namekian. Should have been Super Namekian. Or I don't know, dragon form Piccolo, whatever.
But you just raised an interesting point. What if Piccolo fused with someone that wasn't in the warrior class? What if Piccolo fused with someone with healing abilities?
Fair. Now, I don't think he'd get weaker. He would just gain a different ability.
Yeah. So he'd gain best of both worlds. I don't know if I'd have to rewatch the Frieza saga because I don't know if Nail specifically says that only the warrior class can do it. But if he could, not saying he'd have to fuse with Dende, but how Goku just went and nicked Dende from if they just steal another child from Namek, a healing child. And he's
you put it like that, it's pretty bad. I'm just gonna kidnap real quick.
Bam, we're fused now.
No, Yeah, it's quite possible. Like, all right, I need to find like the best healer in all of Namek. Hey, we're gonna fuse now. We need this. It's like,
Yeah,
damn, can I get my life
healing on the
back?
battle.
No, once you fuse, we're fused.
And the
Okay.
training is just like what Krillin did to Vegeta. Just keep almost killing them over and over. Like, oof,
Mm.
oof.
It's like, I mean, that's not a bad way to get a Zenkai boost for real, for real.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
but yeah, I wonder because Nail was the chosen guardian of Guru, so like we know he was strong. I mean, obviously Frieza was stronger, we know that. But of the Namekians at the time, he was
yeah,
that guy without fusing with anybody.
yeah.
And if Piccolo fused with, I mean, there's more Namekians now. If he fused with like another one, we probably get a little bit stronger. But at this point, he doesn't need to. I mean, he got the
No, no.
well, man. He's orange now. He got the good
He's
stuff.
buff.
He
He's
is. He's
buff.
low. I'm trying to get like Piccolo now. Like shit.
Yeah, everyone's had those shirts like training to beat Goku. Now it's training to beat Piccolo. That's the new standard.
Hell yeah, I'm trying to get like Piccolo now. If I can't get like Piccolo, so as a big man, do I? This can divulge into a very different conversation. I will say, look, as a big man, when looking at Dragon Ball Z and all the motivation it brings me, I'm like, yo, this is great, but most of these body types are unrealistic. When I
Yeah,
saw
that's true.
Orange
Yeah.
Piccolo, I'm like, yo, that's possible. I can fucking do that. I know I have just about the body type to do it. I can pull that off. And if I don't pull that off, God of Destruction mode, Topo. I can pull off either
Or
or.
or just shave your eyebrows and go down that route.
Nah, I ain't shaving my eyebrows. I'm good. I like my thick brows. We handsome. We
Brows
handsome people.
frame the face. To be fair, no, it's
Like,
super inspiring, and
yeah.
it is what inspired me to start training. Like the gym legally had to be 16. I got in there at 14. I lied. I wanted the weights.
Yeah.
And that is mainly because of DBZ.
Yeah, of course. Oh my god. Well, damn, that leads into such a great fucking segue. It would be a bad host not to. Is it cool though if we talk about the Gohan theory though, just before we
Which
get
one?
into
Which
it?
one?
So the reason why Gohan's ultimate form is the way it is, right? So in the manga, Gohan says he's not tapping into his Saiyan roots or his Saiyan. He's not tapping into anger in order to get stronger, right? So in the manga, he doesn't have that beast form yet. Gohan is actually incredibly strong, though. So strong that in the Tournament of Power, he fights, what's it,
Kefla.
Kefla. And yeah,
Mm.
1v1s her. And
I
I
was
think it's a
impressed with
draw.
that.
Yeah, I was like, wow, okay. So if he's Gohan is not, he's no slouch no more.
You're not
He's
fucking
been,
around.
he ain't fucking around. But then if we see that in the movie, right, that he's able to technically tap into two forms of power, just like Goku and Vegeta, what technically is the ultimate form? Um, and a lot of speculation is that it is tapping into the Kai abilities,
Maybe. Yeah,
right?
with the Elder but
Yeah, because the
the
Elder
Elder
Kai.
Kai didn't really do much though.
Yeah,
It was more of a
but it wouldn't be a stretch to say when unlocking Gohan's potential, which we know he was unable to fully unlock at that time. He needed more because Gohan's potential was that vast. Is that to do so? He also pours in some of his own energy, and same bodies they can absorb other energy. So it's possible there's just remnants of that, and then when he taps into his
and
ultimate
Guru.
form and Guru, he taps into that it just boom unleashes something else, and that something else is the mystic form, and from the mystic form we get beast. So
Do you
and
think Beast is an evolution of Mystic / Ultimate?
yes, I think beast is 100% an evolution of mystic / ultimate, and or a combination of what would be that elder Kai Guru unlock potential mixed with Saiyan, and it's just it pushed open the floodgates for his potential.
So could we argue that the Elder Kai influence is technically deity energy, like God energy? Could that be an
It's
argument?
100% God energy. It's not even argued against. It is Kais are gods.
Yeah, because
They're just not
he says in
destroyers.
Super, I'm going down my own path, or I'm going to find a
Mhm.
new form. I love that.
Yeah, I was like, thank
So it's
God.
like a mix.
Yeah,
Oh, we've waited so long.
it's
Waited so long, man.
our boys all grown up. All grown up. And all right, so hey, we're back again. This has been a conversation that has honestly really divulged into just some pure Dragon Ball geekiness. But as a champ and as a pro wrestler, she got shit to do. But don't worry, she'll come back for episode 2. But Kiara, I just want to say it's been a pleasure having you on the pod.
Thank
And
you.
I know that championship strap gets heavy sometimes, and I know you're
Oh,
wreaking
so
havoc in
happy.
another industry right now, and I know they sick and they tired of you. And I promise, we're at the second episode, we'll be a little lighter on the Dragon Ball Z and more on the, well, I was gonna say WWE, but hey, that's not the
You
organization.
never have to go lighter on the Dragon Ball. That's my jam. That
All right.
I'll never go diet. I want full fat, full fat Coca-Cola, full fat Dragon Ball. That's
Hell
what I
yeah.
love. And when I come back, I hope I don't have bruises on my face because I'll be facing Shorty and Harley Harris in a ladder match with some kendo sticks. So guys, wish me luck. Wrestling might not be the same as MMA, but kendo sticks are real, okay? And the ladders are real. I've taken a couple of those bumps. It is no joke, all right?
Yeah, no, bumps are real
So
as
give me
shit.
some sensu beans. Gonna need them.
Well, hey, before I fully close this out, I have one more Dragon Ball Z related question for you, and then we can just tell everyone where to find you. All right. So, my last Dragon Ball Z question is actually kind of a small little checklist. So, in Dragon Ball Z, what would your race be? What would your transformation or transformations be? What are your signature moves? What are your ultimate moves? For signatures, you can have up to 3. For finishers, you have up to 2.
I'm so biased though.
It's okay.
I'm gonna be race. It's gonna be Saiyan. Everyone's gonna pick Saiyan. I don't care.
That's
the margin.
That's not true.
No, really, dude. Okay. Oh,
I had this conversation with some other friends, and like, I would want to say Saiyan, but I don't want the smoke that often because Saiyans always want the smoke. Yeah.
I want to say in Dragon Ball Online, that Korean game that I could never play because you needed the mobile, like the female margins looked super cool. So that would be second choice, but first choice Saiyan, of course. Hybrid Saiyan maybe for that Zenkai boost.
There you go, Hybrid Saiyan.
Yeah. Makan Kosapo or Special Beam Cannon. I've always liked Special Beam Cannon. Would you say that's an ultimate move or a signature move? It's gonna be ultimate.
I guess it can be classified as both.
I like how he uses both hands as well in the movie.
Because he doesn't have it perfected. He's still trying to learn it.
I love that. Okay, Kienzan Destructo Disc. Because that's really powerful.
It's a very powerful move.
You said I could have 3, right?
3 signature moves.
Oh, in the Fusion Reborn with Janemba, he does this cool. It's currently I can't show you. I'm using.
It's an ultimate move. I know it's the Soul Punisher or the Stardust Breaker. Yeah.
It's currently my wallpaper on my phone, and the animation is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those would be my 3. And what was the?
Is that one? Well, the move you said, that's a finishing type move, so that would be one of your finishers. So you have 2 signatures and your finisher. Do you want to add one to any other? And what are your transformations?
I do this variation on a gator, which is a type of chokehold in wrestling, and I've called it the Final Atonement because it sounds pretty badass. That is, of course, Vegeta's self-destructive move.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that as a trump card, not as something I would do because obviously you're gonna die. But
well, you can survive. Vegeta did it against Topo. Actually, he lived.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm forgetting Super, of course.
But he used everything he had. He's like, well, I ain't got shit left. Yeah.
And then transformation. Oh, can I pick transformations from Super now as well?
Yeah, of course.
Legendary Super Saiyan, with the green tinge.
Fair.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it's the same as the original Broly movie in the 90s. And this one, the cool, like the green and
as it keeps
all the colors, change. That's so cool, man. Love it. And like his pupils disappear.
Okay. Well, shoot. Well, Kiara, tell us, where can people find you? I have it down here. Let them know, though.
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube. I post not only wrestling, but a lot of anime too now. I'm kind of mixing it up. So it's Kiara_wrestler. It's spelled Kiara and then _wrestler. And I read all the comments and I reply a lot. I'm super interactive. And there'll be a lot of memes, spicy memes. I'll repost. If you want to keep up with the spicy memes, then don't miss out. And also keep in touch and debate me. If you guys disagree with anything I've said, then you got to tell me. Like, I enjoy debate. I won't take it personally. I'll tell you why you're wrong. Okay. Also, I enjoy a bit of speedrunning. I don't speedrun myself, but for some reason, I love watching speedrunners. So if any of you guys out there are good speedrunners, then hit me up so I can watch and support you guys.
All right, yo, that's what's up. And then, hey, don't forget to follow us at Zenkai Station. That's Zenkai Station. That's everywhere good podcasts be. That's on every social platform. Kiara, I just want to say thank you so much. You're 100% coming back for an episode 2.
Thank you so much, Senpai Savage.
Hey, no problem at all. We're going to get this shit rocking. And just want to say, don't forget, y'all, rate this 5 stars, share this with your friends, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
The algorithm overlords, help us praise them, and we shall be rewarded.
That way we can make doper content in the future. For anyone that watched this, for anyone that listened, thank you for vibing with us. Yo, it's much love from Zenkai. Peace.
Bye, guys.